Hello, I'm Dortz, and this is my customized optimized XP environment. In this segment, I'm first going to cover setting a couple of useful tweaks for your XP environment to optimize it for gaming. Then I'm going to show you some great customizations you can make to XP that would really personalize it to your tastes, such as, hacking your start button. So, I'm going to start with how to set a static page file. So the first thing you're going to do is open up the System Properties menu. To do that, just hit Windows key pause, and you're going to come up with this, and go to the Advanced tab, Performance Settings, Advanced tab again, Virtual Memory Change. Now, the default value for this is System Managed Size. You want to click on Custom Size, and change the value to typically twice the amount of RAM that you have. Now in the NTFS file system, 1 gig is 1024 megabytes. So I have 1 gig of RAM in this machine, so I set my initial size to 2 gigabytes or 2048. Since it's a static page file, we want to have the initial size equal the maximum size. So you set it to typically twice the amount of your RAM. This is a good idea because you have too high of a page file size, then you're going to have memory issues. Too low, and it doesn't really do anything. So we're going to set that OK. You'll apply it, you'll click OK, you'll apply it, you'll click OK, and it's going to come up with, asking you to restart. Go ahead and do that. The next thing I'm going to cover is services.msc. To get to that, just do start, run, services.msc. That's going to bring up services. So, this will show you a list of all the services that are currently installed in your computer. Now you'll see if they're started, what way they're going to start up, if they do it automatically, if you have to do it manually, or if it's supposed to be disabled. Now there's a couple of services that one that I just disabled, so it still has started. Just the next time I start Windows it won't, or I could stop it right now. Bam. And I have the fast user switching that I only have one user account, so I don't need to use. Help and support, which I have never used. And of course I just stopped error reporting service. So, those three, you don't really use them very often, I don't think. But if you're new to computers, I would suggest leaving help and support, error reporting, and fast user switching. Just leave it alone. Because if you don't know what a service does, and you set it default disabled, and it was actually a system critical file, your system will die. And that's bad. So, if you're not sure, set it to manual, see if it starts up and yells at you and tells you to start the service. So, that would be that on services. Just be careful. Try not to break your computer at all. So, now I'm going to switch gears and cover how to customize your machine for looks, not just performance. So, first and most blazingly obvious, I'm going to hack the Windows Start menu, which I have already done. The tools I used here were Resource Hacker and Registry Editor. So I start with Resource Hacker, which is freeware. You can just Google it and find it real quick. And you just File, Open, and navigate to your Windows folder. That's Windows. You can scroll over and you'll find Explorer.exe. There's several others here that I have run over this a couple of times. So, open Explorer.exe, and before you do anything, save as another file name, which is very important to have. Yes, I would like to replace that, but you wouldn't have to deal with that normally. I already did that. So, what is Explorer.exe? Well, basically, it is the front end of your computer. All the dialog boxes, everything is in Explorer.exe, including a few really fun, entertaining values in the string table here. If you'll notice in here, there's a lot of them that look really familiar from the Start menu, especially value 37 here, which has Start on it. And if you change this to whatever you want, and every time you change a value in one of these tables, you will have to recompile it, which is why you need to work in a different name. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to recompile it because it's running. Funny how that works. So, you can change help and support, Windows security, or run tab, whatever you want to do. And when you're done, File, Save. You can close that now. Open up your registry editor. And double check in here that there's my correct version of Explorer. It stays in the Windows folder where the regular Explorer is. So, now to registry editor, which you don't know how to get to that. It's just Start button, Run, regedit. Now I'll open up the registry editor, and you need to navigate to My Computer, HKey Local Machine, Software, Microsoft Windows NT, Current Version, WinLogon. And in there, you're going to find the value shell. Right-click, Modify. The original value here is Explorer.exe. I changed it to my file name. Went to OK, and that's about it for hacking your start bar. You can shut down and restart now, and it will be updated, hopefully, if you have done this correctly. Now I'm going to go through changing that ugly-ass XP logon screen. There's several places online you can go. First I would choose would be DeviantArt, although sometimes you have to compile those on your own, and that can be tricky. Or you can go to wincustomize.com, where they have loads and loads of boot skins and loads of logon screens that are just really useful. So you can download one from here. You can make one on your own. I'm not going to show you how to because I am crap at it and I'm horrible with graphics. So I'm just going to assume that you know how to download stuff and you can download this. One thing you do have to check for is make sure that when you do, it is updated, and compiled properly. If it comes in a .exe, in other words, that's what you want. So once you have that, you want to take it in your Windows folder and you want to put it in System32. There we go. Let's search around here. There it is. I have already downloaded and put this one in there. This is logon UI fbi.exe. Note the original one is logon UI.exe. So we go back to our friend registry editor. We go back to the original key we had before. My Computer, HKey Local Machine, Software, Microsoft, Windows NT, Current Version, WinLogon. Just below the shell, UI host, you'll see it's very similar to the file path of logonui.exe. I've already changed it to my file name, logonui.fbi.exe. You just click OK. You can log off and you'll see your logon screen. So, again, very simple. Now, the next thing I'm going to go over is a program from Stardock. Now, this program is called Bootskin. Bootskin is a rather easy to use program that will, in effect, hack your boot screen for you. Now, there's a couple options here. Like, they have some pre-installed ones, but they aren't all that good. But lucky enough, at wincustomize.com, they have boot skins that are all pre-created and pre-customized for boot skin. Like, when you look for a file and import a file, it looks for a boot skin file. All these are in boot skin format already for you. It's really convenient. So you just download it, open it from here to import it, and you can choose anyone here, click apply, boot screen applied successfully. You can preview it. I like my own, so I'm gonna keep my own right there. See, looks real nice. So that really is that easy for boot skin. And the thing with boot skin is it is leaps and bounds better than anything I could do just hacking the boot screen, because this uses a boot time frame buffer that works off of Evasive Boot Time Extensions, or VBE, that just about all graphics cards and chipsets can support VBE, but double check with your manufacturer manual and all that, just to be sure. But basically what that does is, instead of going in and changing the kernel remains untouched, and so does it just overrides the default boot screen. So you can have a higher quality boot screen, and it doesn't risk corrupting your computer at all. So just keep that in mind if you want to put yourself through the pain and suffering of trying to edit your boot screen on your own, or get boot skin and make your life a lot easier. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you today is Hotkey Helper. Now, this is a relatively small app, easy to install, easy to run, and with it you can make almost any key combination into a hotkey. You can run stuff, you can start URLs, you can change whatever you're listening to, edit the volume settings, you can change and set different shutdown commands if you want to. You can set window settings if you really want to. But mostly I just use it for run commands. I use the upper level F keys. So you can see I have my Winamp is set to it, Mozilla is set to it, my storage drive, my movies partition for Vista, just a lot of stuff in there that's, just I use those folders so often that it's just so convenient to have it. And it also looks kind of cool to go whoosh and have 8 different windows open up. But it's easy to add, even easier to remove, and easy to edit whatever, all of them, including medias and all that. And then the options center, you can enable the screen tip, where if you strike one of the keys, it's going to pop up on top with a little message saying, hey, you just hit this one, I'm going to put this up for 3 seconds to say, this is the title of what you just did. Like, say, next, this, that, and the other thing. And it will come through with video games, so you can see if it's working, unless, maybe your Winamp crashed. So you can have it start with Windows or not. I like to, but that's just me. So apply, OK, and it will hide in your system tray for future use. So that's that, and hope you enjoyed my little segment. If you have any questions, just ask on the BSOD forums, which is forums.bsodtv.org, or you can also hit me up on IRC. My nick is Dorts. Happy Dorts.